Coming up on the Asia Trade, Tdk posting record fourth quarter profits lifted by AI data center demand, but its full-year profit outlook falls short of forecasts. We'll be getting the view next with the CEO, Noboru Sato. This is Bloomberg.
Japanese electronic components maker Tdk has posted fourth quarter sales and operating profit that beat consensus, but the full year outlook fell short of estimates. Bloomberg Intelligence, though, says the company can take advantage of rising demand for capacitors, hard disk drive parts, and batteries, much of it fueled by the AI boom. Joining us now is Tdk Director and CEO Noboru Sato. Saito-san, always good to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming in on a holiday here in Japan.
My
so it's
pleasure.
great to have you with us. How much of the growth in the quarter was driven by the components around artificial intelligence?
Yeah, actually, as you just mentioned, that major contributor, was kind of hard disk drive, for data center, for example, and also like smartphone, like production. Part of the smartphone is getting into the AI smartphone. So our key components for hard disk drive and also like smartphone contributed to a major extent to our result last fiscal term.
We have mega cap tech earnings, like a quarter of the S&P 500 market cap reporting this week. Do you expect all of that CapEx spending to continue? I mean, that would make a big difference in your results as well.
Right. I think this uptrend, will continue. Not only short term, also mid and long term. However, the degree may change, but what I want to emphasize is that upward trend is going to continue. That's for sure.
Why the degree?
Why the degree? Yeah, that's right.
I mean, why the degree will vary and how?
It depends on the the investment from all related companies, right? That total of this investment against the actual possible kind of growth. There may be a kind of some gap. That's what I'm pointing out. That degree may change. However, this trend is going to continue.
We are seeing also a little bit of an issue in the smartphone side of things, especially with memory chip prices continuing to go up. A lot of it because those investments were geared towards advanced chips, right?
Exactly.
Will that affect your business?
Yeah, to some extent, and we have reflected that kind of memory chip shortage, like especially in ICT products like smartphone, and we are kind of estimating that the smartphone like a production of this fiscal term, our fiscal term, will be 10% less.
Oh.
Right, yeah. That's what we are, estimating the kind of trend. However, the impact, in the smartphone area, mainly be in a lower kind of end smartphone. The high-end smartphone, we don't see a kind of a huge impact. That's how we see the trend of this fiscal term.
Like Apple, for example, to whom you supply, we are expecting an incoming CEO, John Turnus. Do you have any views as having a hardware head really leading Apple into the new era? Does this signal perhaps more focus on hardware? Does that sort of help with your vision of what sort of parts you could supply as well?
Yeah, actually, Apple is the company which has been driving always technology, innovation, and so on. And that trend, I believe, is going to continue.
We've seen, of course, the supply chain disruptions already by the war in Iran. Is that having an impact in your business?
Yeah, to some extent. However, in short term, we don't see a kind of significant impact. But we are carefully watching or paying our high attention to that. Like, the material from naphtha, kind of solvents, for example, is a kind of, we are sourcing. So that's what we are paying our highest attention to this. And due to this supply, of course, price, to some extent that we have also reflected into this new fiscal term kind of earning.
Are you going to have to change pricing as well?
Our price is a slightly different topic that we have many other cost structure, right? But our direction is that to provide a kind of appropriate price to our customers.
When you're seeing these supply disruptions, does that mean that you're using the stockpiles that you already have, or are you trying to diversify? What does your timeline look like from here on out?
not only, kind of oil-related kind of materials. So we have several other materials, rare earth and et cetera, that we have already started kind of diversifying sources. Right? That's what we are paying our highest attention to mitigate our risk.
Especially,
not only short term, but also mid and long term.
Because China's export restrictions, for example, on rare earths continue, right? What's the pace of approvals at this point?
Approval?
Yes, for the rare earth materials to be sent to suppliers.
Actually, we keep communicating, of course, but at the same time, that as I mentioned, that we keep kind of diversifying to mitigate such a risk. A kind of parallel action we are taking.
At what point does it start hurting?
In short term, we don't see any, significant impact, but we are always looking that from long-term point of view. That's why we have started already taking action.
Like what?
Diversifying.
And diversifying the sources towards where? From where?
Depend on the material. Depending, several materials. We are taking care. Therefore.
Let's talk a little bit about your batteries business as well, of course. We have seen a little bit of a slowdown on that market. Do you expect that to pick up, especially given seasonality issues?
Not actually seasonality, as I mentioned, that throughout this fiscal term, we have to estimate kind of, demand down because of the, memory shortage, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Like a smartphone, as I told you, like we are expecting 10% down, right? That to some extent impacting, right? That our business. However, that we are also, keep developing our new high-end kind of batteries to try to, compensate such kind of the downturn. So we keep investing on the, R&D, research and development, and also, capex, et cetera. And I see that this memory shortage will not be kind of a years and years issue.
Will not be.
Will not be.
How long do you think you can?
It's very difficult to say, precisely. But I don't see that it's a kind of long years or many years of issue. That
you have a joint venture with CATL as well, right? How do you see the Chinese market?
Yeah, I think Chinese for us, China is one of our most important market, biggest big demand. Will continue to be there. Therefore, I see that China is and will be one of our most important markets.
Noboru Saito, always great to get your insights. He's the CEO at Tdk, of course, out with their earnings that have beat estimates as well. And you can get more on the biggest stories in tech on the Bloomberg Video Hub. You can also check out past episodes of Bloomberg Tech Asia and other shows on Bloomberg.com/videos. This is Bloomberg.